just to give you some context, this is the era where pay-per-view is still in its infancy.
Right.
By the way, look at the back of that guitar. It's got a big bubble on it. You can tell that's gimmick to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, anyway, what I was getting ready to say though is you've got pay-per-view in its infancy, and this show actually sells 400,000 pay-per-views. But at the same time, you've got 78,000 tickets sold, and oh yeah, not everybody has pay-per-view capabilities. So in those markets, you've got a closed circuit opportunity, which basically means you're renting out a building, an auditorium, an arena, you're setting up a giant screen and a projector, and people are buying tickets to come sit in a stadium and watch a big screen. How many people did that? They sold over 450,000 tickets just for the closed circuit. That's according to Dave Meltzer's Observer. So you've got 78,000 fans in the Silver Dome. You've
Right.
got 450,000 fans in arenas across the country watching the closed circuit. And
Okay.
you've got 400,000 fans at home watching on pay per view. That's the numbers. Now, to give you some perspective, Tony, you want to know how many people attended the closed circuit for Starrcade the prior year?
No.
30,000. And by
Wow.
the way, on its own, when you think about that, 30,000 feels like a monumental success. You had 30,000 people come to arenas not to watch live wrestling, but to watch a screen of live wrestling. So when you really think about that, 30,000 feels like an overwhelming success until you hear, well, 5 months later, the WWF is going to do 450,000. That was the allure of Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant.
Sure. And Andre the Giant had been established as more than just a wrestler. He had been established as an attraction, being booked by the McMahons, being booked by the WWE all those years. He went out to different territories, and every time Andre the Giant would come to a territory, it meant something. So Andre was an established star of professional wrestling fans around the world. They knew him because he was everywhere. And now Hulk Hogan obviously comes around and he's the big star. And it was one of those meant to be moments. It's when everything, as the old cliche goes, came together. So, yeah, it still amazes me when I watch this about how big this was compared to everything else that I was accustomed to.
I mean, it's the biggest show of all time, and it's even in the Observer. The Observer was real primitive back here in 1987,
Right.
but I think, and listen, I may be wrong on this, but I think Dave actually has a screen grab of what the Observer looked like. Of course, back then it was all done on a typewriter,
Right.
but just to see the way, he sort of broke it down. There's
Right.
another slide that Silva has, not about the Hogan match, but
Right.
this is the very beginning one. He says, so this is the cover of the newsletter from April 6th, 1987. To say anything but Sunday's WrestleMania show was the most impressive all around wrestling production in history would be to deny the obvious. Everything about the show, from the hype to the trappings to the production of the live event itself, exceeded anything we've ever seen from the business. The sellout at the Silverdome was proof of all that. I'm not going to get into attendance and money figures here because I should have a pretty close to complete estimate in next week's issue, but it certainly was by a wide margin the biggest grossing wrestling event in history, and it's a standard that will be very hard for Titan to top next year. Just a few random thoughts before running down the card itself. From the standpoint of the wrestling itself, the show was pretty good. Some were left on a bad note by the main event, which in truth, it was even worse than I expected.
Mm.
Even though the Andre Hogan match was the draw, it was well known ahead of time it would be a stinker, and it succeeded in that regard. It was also easy to predict that Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat would put on one heck of a show. Putting the Andre match maybe in the 10th slot and saving Piper and Savage for the final two positions would have sent the fans home on a hot note. Watching the show myself, I thought it was entertaining, except for Savage. The best performer on the show may have been Jesse Ventura, but the main event sent me home on a sour note.
Yeah.
So Meltzer's trying to reconcile exactly, how to feel and how to categorize WrestleMania 3, but he's describing it, in the days after as an unparalleled success. You were with Crockett at the time and you felt like, hey, we'll never compete. How do you think Jimmy Crockett felt? How do you think Dusty felt about WrestleMania 3?
I think they were. I think they were. I think they dug in and tried to get better. and realized that this fight that they are in was not going to happen easily, I'm sure they were worried about it. That's my feeling there. Can we put that one back up again? That slide back up again one more time. There's a part I wanted to read. Okay,
Sure.
and he said down putting Andre match on maybe the 10th slot and saving Piper and Savage for the final two positions would have sent the fans home on a hot note. I think the fans went home on a hot note.
Of course they did.
Yes, I think the fact that he did not like Hulk Hogan, and it was well documented, and the fact that what he likes in a match has to be the one that sends the fans home happy is absolutely wrong. And of course, this is Dave's opinion. I think the fans seeing Hogan slam Andre, seeing Hogan win, seeing Hogan pose, I think they went home hot. They were there to see that match. That's what they were there for, nothing else. They were there to see that match. I shouldn't say nothing else, but that was the match they were there to see. And seeing Hulk Hogan win brought them home happy.
There's no doubt about that. We got a question here live from our live studio audience. We greatly appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We have such a great time with you every Monday night watching old wrestling together. One of the questions, though, Tony, is did you see this show live? Did you get a pay-per-view? Did you get a closed circuit? When do you see this? How do you see it? Is it VHS?
Yeah, it's a VHS. Yeah, that's how I saw it.
So did a friend record it live on pay-per-view and they handed you the tape, or did you wait until the Coliseum video came out?
A fan, I wasn't that big of a tape trader, but a fan let me see it on a tape. I remember that. And you know what I did? Because I heard about the Ricky Steamboat match, I watched that, and then I watched Hogan and Andre.
That's what you watched of the show, those two matches.
Those two matches, right. Oh,
Yeah.
and I also watched Vince McMahon
Introduce Aretha Franklin.
And God Bless America. And I remember when Vince, you could say when he looked around, he was so damn proud of that show. And you could just see the arrogance, ooze off of him, probably in a good way though, but you could just tell by his facial expressions and the way he said that, it was really, really big. And it was.
Honky Tonk Man is victorious here. We're live, and Bobby is with us, and he says, are these pay-per-views on VHS worth anything in today's market? Hey, they absolutely are, Bobby. If you've got a sealed VHS, if you have an unopened VHS, it's worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. If you have a WrestleMania III sealed, it is certainly worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Bryant wants to know, JCP had run stadium shows before this event. Tony, what do you think made this event different from the events that you had run? Size
of the promotion, the fact that they had hit the mainstream and we had not. We're showing Alice Cooper right there. There's another reason, that they hit the mainstream. Alice Cooper wouldn't have come to our show. He didn't even know who we were.
Well, hang on. You had David Allen Coe and all that.
Yeah, it was good.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next two house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at savewithconrad.com. Shoot me an email at conrad@savewithconrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105 or get yourself a quick quote. Even talk to a live person right now at savewithconrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at savewithconrad.com.